This is a sad film. Look Back tells the tale of Ayame Fujino, a young girl with a passion for drawing. She spends countless hours at her desk, doodling these 4-panel manga strips so they can be used in her school's newspaper. Week after week, her classmates will tell her how good and funny these strips are, and it results in her receiving a little bit of a chip on her shoulder. So when one day her teacher tells her that another student from another class wants to do one of the 2 strips in the newspaper, Fujino laughs it off. Sure, let this girl give it a shot. What's an amateur going to be able to do? Plus this other girl is apparently a shut-in NEET who can't even bring themselves to come to school. What can they possibly do? And so the next week comes around and the school newspaper is handed out around the class, and Fujino smugly gives it a read. But that smug expression doesn't last long, because the difference in their drawing ability is night and day, and it's Fujino's art that is noticeably weaker, and she can't help but deflate looking at it. Everyone had told Fujino that she was special, that she was great at drawing, and yet here's someone who's the same age as her who completely surpasses her in that aspect. It's a crushing feeling and something hard to overcome. And yet, it also lights a fire in Fujino. She wants to be better at drawing. She wants to be better than this other girl. She wants people to praise her again. She does all this research into drawing and spends all her time practicing it. Day after day, week after week, year after year. She draws and she draws. Even when everyone tells her to stop and they worry about how much time she's spending on it, she keeps going. She keeps pushing forward. She keeps improving. And her art does become better. But so does this other girl's. Even after all that time and all that effort, she still feels like she's stuck in square one. She's not special, she's just like everyone else. And it's demoralizing. What Fujino experiences here is something that every artist has faced before. These are feelings that anyone who's truly tried to be good at something has gone through. The pain of not being good enough, of not feeling rewarded for their efforts, of accomplishing little to nothing. Look Back, and especially Fujino's story, is a very relatable one. It's certainly one that I could relate to. I am quite frankly a struggling YouTuber. My channel is tiny and only recently got monetized. I'm constantly trying to improve, always dissatisfied with my own videos. They don't look good enough, they don't sound good enough, I'm not good enough. I pour so much of my time into these videos, and it's frustrating to often feel like it's pointless. I'm always asking myself, what do I need to do to make my videos better? The editing? Okay, I'll go buy a better laptop that can handle DaVinci Resolve, and then I'll watch all these videos on how to do good transitions and how to do certain effects. My audio's not good? Okay, I'll go get a better microphone and look up how to add certain effects to the mic in post to make it sound crisper and louder. And I'll try and add background music because that's what I should do, right? Oh, my voiceover still isn't great? Okay, I'll go off and do some vocal exercises every day to try and strengthen my voice and make myself sound clearer. Looking at the quality of my videos at the start of the year to now, I have undoubtedly improved. But have I improved enough? All these other guys are so much better than me. Some of them have been making videos for less time than I have and already have all these subscribers and views that I don't. Should I even bother continuing? I get nice comments from people every now and then, but hardly anyone stays. Very few people watch more than one of my videos. What can I do to keep them? What's the next thing that I need to do to make my videos better so that people keep coming back? No matter how many people like one of my videos, there's always at least one person that dislikes it. Why do I keep going? Do I even like making these videos? Maybe I should just quit. This cycle that I'm stuck in is not something that is exclusive to me. This is something that every person trying to be good at something experiences. Even the person who's the best at something had to start somewhere and go through their own growth. And that's something that this film puts across beautifully. This desire to be the best and the emptiness you feel when you realise you're not. There's always going to be someone better. Someone who puts more time into it, someone with more natural talent, someone with better connections. It's the harsh reality of trying to break into any competitive space. And whilst Tatsuki Fujimoto, the creator of Look Back, maybe an acclaimed mangaka best known for his Fire Punch and Chainsaw Man manga, hence why we get some tongue-in-cheek references to Chainsaw Man in this film, he too had to go through these same struggles. Look Back is not a retelling of his life through Fujino's eyes, but it does take inspiration from his experiences as an artist. I mean, how could something so relatable not have some connection to reality? I mean, look at the names of the two leads in this anime. Fujino and Kyomoto. Put their names together and what you get? That's right, Fujimoto. He clearly put parts of himself into these characters who start out as rivals but later become friends. Sometimes even the person you're competing with can become a source of inspiration for you. And that leads to both girls pushing each other to make work that the other one would like. Creating things can often be an isolating experience, so I love seeing these two genuinely form a strong bond. Fujino is very extroverted and is able to slowly pull Kyomoto out of her shell and provide her with the confidence that she was previously lacking. Watching these two together, you can't help but smile. But like I said at the start, this is a sad film. I'm not going to spoil what happens, but there's a certain event that occurs in this film that I think might divide some people, purely because it feels very random, as if it's come out of nowhere. However, I actually really like that it feels random. I'm purposely trying to be vague here, but events like this do feel like they seemingly happen at random in the real world. And this aspect of Look Back is actually the reason for its existence. In 2011, when Fujimoto was 17 years old, there was an earthquake in Tohoku, the region where Fujimoto attended university. This disaster had such a profound impact on Fujimoto and his artwork. In his own words, drawing felt meaningless. Along with other students, he volunteered to help clean up after the disaster, but found that his aid had done very little to actually help, which made him feel powerless. But what Fujimoto realised is that whilst he can't prevent these tragedies, or even do much in the aftermath, he can keep making art. Art that acts as both a distraction and a comfort. Something that can take people away from the pain of their lives and put a smile on their faces. These feelings of powerlessness were reignited in Fujimoto in the wake of the arson attack on Kyoto Animation, one of the deadliest massacres in Japan since the Second World War. This horrific event is by far the biggest inspiration for Look Back, and anyone familiar with the circumstances behind the Kyoto Animation fire will instantly be able to recognise its shadow looming over this film. This movie perfectly demonstrates helplessness, both in wishing to succeed and bettering yourself at something, and also in responding to tragedy. Therein lies the message of Look Back, and that message is to keep moving forward, keep making art, even when the world reminds you of how nasty it can be. Don't let it hold you down. Instead, use your art to keep expressing yourself, keep trying, keep putting smiles on other people's faces. That is why art exists. Now all this explains why the story and characters of Look Back are so good, but why should you watch the anime of Look Back over reading its manga? Or simply put, this is one of the most visually beautiful anime that I've ever seen. The animation by Studio Durian is spellbinding, and what's most impressive is that over half this film's key animation frames were done by writer-director Kyoto Yoshiyama himself, a man who used to be an animator for Ghibli. Now that is dedication, and it's no surprise that Look Back boasts some truly breathtaking direction and cinematography. It makes sense that a movie about art would be art itself. Every single frame of this film is wallpaper worthy, and I can only assume that Fujimoto feels immense pride looking at this adaptation. Look Back is quite frankly fantastic, and has moved my heart. It probably wasn't a good idea to watch this anime the day after I saw Dandadan episode 7, but sometimes you need a little sadness to remind you of what's real. This movie lacks a lot of the weirder elements that can be found all over Fujimoto's more famous works, but still retains the character depth that you're used to. In a short amount of time, you will find yourself really caring for these two girls and wanting to see them succeed, to get past their strife and struggle, and for their efforts to be rewarded. And I'm sure a great many of you will see yourselves in these characters too. I highly recommend this anime to you because you will not regret watching it, I swear. Let me know what you think about Look Back Down in the comments below, as well as your thoughts on Fujimoto's other works, like Chainsaw Man. Were you able to relate to the characters, and what did you think of this film pivoting in an unexpected direction? And whilst you're down there, do be sure to hit the like button, it really helps me out. And if you're feeling especially generous, then do consider subscribing. I'd love to have you become a regular viewer of the channel. But until next time, thank you so much for watching this video, I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.